Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Two Psychics. This is Michael Edley, evidential medium and mystic, discussing all things spiritual.
Hello, I'm Mary Amy of Two Psychics, an intuitive wisdom coach, tapping into your mystical life and sharing messages I receive about you.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Edley, psychic medium. Such a pleasure to be here with you tonight. And my fabulous co-host, Mary Amy. What's going on, Mary? How are you?
Hi, Michael. How are you tonight on this Thursday evening? We're really officially in the summer. I'm already headed to the beach. I'm spending time outside. I'm doing walks in the morning and the evening, and I'm enjoying the weather. I'm doing fabulous.
Yes, the Jersey Shore has been beautiful, and it's been inundated with lots of people, so I have to time out my travel through my local towns because I have to add on like an extra 15, 20 minutes to get anywhere I was going several months ago to get there now. But I love it. The nice summer swing is in effect. The funny thing for me is now we're kind of in the on season, the tourist season, and I have not been to the boardwalk or the beach in like the last several weeks, where I was there multiple times a week prior, but I have to make an effort to get there, hopefully over the next several days, and I'll be able to meditate and get into my Zen mindset, down at the Jersey Shore. But it's been beautiful, and I have to say, I'm very excited for tonight, very, very excited for tonight's episode. So for those of you that don't know, we have pet psychic Laura Stinchfield, and I'm very excited because for those of you that don't know my background and my history, for 22 years, I was in the pet industry. I had owned brick and mortar retail stores, a partner in a dog food company, and I had 2 licensed rescue and shelters in 2 different counties in my state. So I am very tied and connected to pets and animals overall. I think the unconditional love we get from them is amazing. It's like nothing else, and for me, my pets have always been my children. I don't have actual human kids. I have furry kids, and I've always had furry kids, and they are such a fabulous blessing, I think, into our lives. What about you, Mary Amy? What's your pet status?
I love animals. I actually had trained to be a wildlife rehabilitator, so I love wildlife as well. And I have a puppy dog named Elsa, and I call her a puppy dog even though she's 10 years old. And, in fact, I gave her a bath and bought her a new bed today, and we went on a long walk last night. So I'm a pet lover. I'm allergic to cats. I wasn't always allergic to cats, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's psychological, because I had this wonderful cat when I was a kid that was declawed, and anybody that came near me and tried to be aggressive, the cat would bite them. So I had a dream about this cat at one point, and this cat spoke to me. So there was something about that cat that was really special. I love animals, so I'm excited. All right, so tonight, everyone, it is Two Psychics radio show, and it's episode 20, and tonight we are speaking about animal communication. It's June 13th, 2024, and we have our guest, pet psychic Laura Stinchfield. Now, I am an intuitive wisdom coach. You can reach me at maryamyofficial.com, and Michael is an evidential medium, and you can reach him at michaeledley.com. Coming up tonight, we have Laura first off. We are not going to have callers until after the interview, and I'm going to do a visualization. So I'm excited, and Laura is going to tell us all about being an animal communicator. She's also a people medium, an author, a radio host. She has books, Stormy, Words of Wisdom, and Voices of the Animals, available on Amazon. She's capable of knowing what animals are thinking and feeling, and she's been able to do this since a young age. She grew up around horses and other animals. Now, coming up in the next few weeks, we have June 27th, Jilly Clark and Angelic Channeler. And then we have, this is pretty wild, July 11th, we have Rick Relez, a Bigfoot expeditioner. All right, so we are planning on bringing her in 5 minutes, so I'm going to just get into what animal communication is. Is that okay, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's let everyone in on a little bit of animal communication.
Okay. All right, so animal communication. Animals communicate with each other, which provides information that incorporates into decision-making for them. Now, animals communicate with sounds, movement, posture, touch, releasing odor, electrical charge, color pattern, and posture. They use visual, acoustic, chemical, tactile, and electrical signals. Animals communicate choices that are made based on recent experiences, conditions, sensory information. Well, see, animals and humans have a special bond, and animal psychics have the ability to communicate telepathically and empathically with animals through thoughts and emotions and feelings. And animal psychics tap into their own intuitive abilities to channel messages from animals. And our psychic tonight is going to do that with us. These animal psychics learn about animal behaviors and gain trust and mutual respect from the exchange. Animal communicators working like psychics and mediums aid during illness, end of life. They act as a grief counselor and help with missing pets. So animal psychics, and we're going to hear all from Laura about what that exactly entails, assist with lost pets by assessing, possibly through remote viewing or intuitive impressions, while finding a missing pet. And Michael, what would you like to share before we bring our guest on?
No, that's absolutely it. I think you covered a good wide gambit of, animal communication. And I do believe animals have the ability it's almost a telepathic connection in addition to everything you've mentioned. And I do believe they could imprint thoughts and feelings into our energy field. And it's like a telepathic realm of communication. I'd be curious to see what Laura has, and I'm sure that's part of how she connects. But I find it really interesting, the animal communication thing, because for many years in my stores, we would have animal communication day, and we would have a great local pet psychic come in. This is prior to me really doing my mediumship full out. I was doing it with, on a part-time small basis, and I've always done it, but this was not the forefront of what I was doing. And it was interesting that the animal communication has always been a part of my business dealings. And, we did that for years. And it really is an amazing gift. And it can really give you tons of insight and guidance to what's going on in the animals world. And, it's a really cool topic, and I'm really excited to get into it tonight.
Yes, and one of my daughters said to me, Mom, is Elsa with you right now? And I said, no. And she said, well, isn't Laura going to speak to Elsa? And I said, well, it's on the radio. It's not video. I said, no, but I didn't bring Laura to the office. I didn't bring Elsa to the office, so Elsa cannot, join in. But I think that your puppy dog is going to get some kind of reading tonight.
Yes. So my Bernese Mountain Dog Molly has had some health issues and some things going on. So hopefully Laura can kind of tap into her energy field and let me know what's going on, or give me a little insight and guidance around my pup Molly, and that would be awesome.
So for anyone that is interested, I'm going to just share with you that Laura is known as the pet psychic, and she's internationally renowned as a pet psychic and people medium. For decades, she has studied animal behavior and training, and animal communication, telepathy, mediumship, death and dying, the afterlife, reincarnation, and personal growth, meditation, and consciousness. She is the voice for anyone who cannot speak for themselves. Her work is a source of knowledge and comfort to people and animals around the world. Her website, thepetpsychic.com, you can reach out to her, and she has a Facebook page, Laura Stinchfield Facebook. So let me bring her on. She's in the green room, and I'm excited to hear from her. So let me bring her on for us. Hi, Laura.
Hi there. It's great to talk with you guys. Thanks for having
What's
me
up,
on.
Laura? Yes. How are you? So where are you calling in from, Laura?
I'm doing great. I'm actually in North Salem, New York, so I think I'm not too far away from you,
Oh, nice.
Mary.
No,
Yeah.
you're not. I'm in Westchester County.
I know, me too. So we're pretty
Well,
close.
we're going to have a meetup, or when we do an event, we'll have to bring you and have you read do some sessions with some people, local people in New York.
Oh, that'd be fun.
How
Yeah.
are you this evening?
I'm doing great. I just have to correct you on one thing. My last name is Stinchfield, not Feld.
Well, oh, my
Stinchfield.
God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to change that spelling.
You forgot to add the I in there.
Yeah, it's all good.
I don't know where
I
I
just
got
want to get
that.
that.
Oh my goodness! And I butcher words because I had a learning disability from a young. I apologize. I can change.
No, that's okay. You're probably just typing fast and missed the I.
I did. Oh yeah, I type really fast. That's not even funny. I don't type well at all, so that's probably why I missed it. So I'm glad you said it to me. I'm I'm very sorry about that.
Good. No, it's
all
all
right, good. So tell us how this happened. I did some reading on your website, and I learned a little bit today about animal communication. Can you tell us your story or something that you want to share with us that is memorable to you becoming a pet psychic?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, you guys did a really good intro about what animal communication is. It's listening to the animals through their thoughts and their feelings and their images in their head and a sense of knowing, and then they send it to me, and my mind actually transfers it into words and then relays it to the people. And so everybody can do it. Everyone who is connected to their animal is doing it all the time. They just might not know that they're doing it. So they could be getting flashes of pictures, like I said, or just like a sense of knowing, or even feelings in their body. A lot of times what can happen is that people will have like a hurt shoulder, or their heart will bother them, or their eyes are bothering them. And what's actually happening is that the animal is sending them what's wrong, and they're picking it up in their body, and they think it's their own issue. So I've been talking to animals all my life, for as long as I can remember. I could hear them. I just didn't realize that everybody else couldn't. And so while I was growing up, it was kind of hard for me because I grew up riding horses, and it was back in a time where people did some pretty wild things to animals, like spanking dogs for going to the bathroom in the house, or abusing horses for not jumping over fences. And I always knew that, like, the horse just wasn't jumping because its hip was hurting him. And I thought everyone understood that. So it was hard for me, and I was very shy, so I didn't really know how to, like, speak up and say, what's happening. And so it wasn't until I was in my early 20s and I was studying animal training that the people I was studying with started to say to me, like, what are you doing with the animals? Like, they're coming along faster with you. Like, I noticed they have like a more of a connection with you. Like, what are you doing? And at the same time that my trainers were telling me that, people started to give me books on animal communication, and I started to research it, and I started to realize that's what I was doing.
That's pretty wild.
Okay, this is I have to get right in here and ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you hear their voice?
Yeah, this is a good question. So I actually hear it as like a little whisper in my voice in my head. And what you'll hear when I talk later to Michael's dog is that I whisper, and I try not to do it sometimes, but I still do it. And what's happening is I'm whispering what they're saying in real time. But what my mind is doing is it's transferring the images that they're sending and the feelings that they're sending quickly into words. So that's why I say everyone is getting it differently. Like, I actually hear it in words, but someone can be just as good and just see pictures or just have a sense of knowing. And Michael, you both probably feel that, right, with the mediumship that you guys do, that it's like it just comes differently to everybody, but it's just learning how to process it through your own mind and your own body.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's what it is. We all process it a little differently, but we can utilize, all the senses, all those abilities, and try to incorporate it. Now, out of curiosity, going back, because I know, Laura, you said you grew up around a lot of animals. Now, were you on a farm, or were you just around horses, or?
I was on a horse farm, yeah.
Oh, you were. That's awesome. Now, is there one specific instance that really blew you away, and you're like, wow, I'm actually having a conversation with this horse or with this animal? Is there one point in time where you were like, this is absolutely happening, and I have to embrace this, or like, what was? So
that's a good question. There's many, but like when I was really young, it was just like this feeling of knowing what they were saying and just kind of like playing with them, right? But there's there's a couple incidences like in my life where I was like, whoa, like this is crazy, like I'm doing this. And one of them was I was in college and I used to backpack all the time on the weekends, and I had this one cat that I would leave at the house, and my sister would come and like check on it and feed it, and so what she would do, that the cat's name was Juliet, and so what would happen is every weekend when I would come home from my backpacking trip, Juliet would like meet me on the front stoop, and then she'd just like give me the cold shoulder and like take off, and she would sometimes take off for days, and she'd be like, I'm out of here. She was so mad at me that I was leaving. And around that same time, somebody had given me Penelope Smith's book, Animal Talk, which she's like a pioneer animal communicator. And in that book, it said to picture the sun setting and rising for as many days as you'll be gone, and then picture yourself happily coming back. So I was like, I'm going to do that to Juliet. So I sat down with her before I left, and I told her, and I really like concentrated on picturing it. And when I came back from that trip, she was meeting me on the front stoop like she always did. And then that day she came into the house, and she climbed onto the bed with me that night. And that night she was like sleeping on me and kneading me. And she was not a cuddly cat. She like was very independent. So that was like one of the ahas where I was like, oh my gosh, like I like sent information, and like, wow, this is like an actual thing. And like, this is like before, like the internet, and people were really thinking about like your thoughts that you're thinking, or like, or how you're sending information, or I'm sure people were doing that, but it wasn't like common terminology like it is today.
That's awesome. That's awesome to get such clear validation from the animal like that. That's really, really special. That must have been a fantastic moment for you.
Yes, it really was. And then there was another one where I had my German Shepherd, Lala. She's a dog that I had in college. And I was actually studying animal communication with a woman named Carol Gurney. And I came home from like my first workshop with her. And I said to Lala, how are you doing today? And I heard so clear in my head, Mom, I'm dying inside. And she'd been hiking and like going with me places. Like there was no outward physical like thought of like why she would say that to me. And so I said to my boyfriend at the time, like, oh my gosh, like Lala says she's dying inside. And he was like, no way, like you're crazy. Like that didn't happen. And then 3 months later, she had cancer in her spleen, and she passed away. And so that was like really eye-opening to me too, like just how clear I heard it and how clear she sent it. But again, during this whole time, I just kind of had a sense of knowing what they were saying. It when I really look back on it, it's like, I've been doing this all along. So, and I think a lot of people are like that, like people who are really connected to their animal. They just have this steady flow with them, and they just don't realize like how much it's going back and forth. that they think it's their own intuition picking things up when it's really a two-way conversation.
Yeah, it's just so interesting, and I think that's such a great point. I think so many people, they just disregard the information, or they think, oh, that was my own thoughts, or thinking that, and they really take a step back and start embracing this energetic connection they have with their animals. They truly can communicate, and it's such an eye-opening thing. I think if people just understand that, that opens.
Yeah.
And that's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, question for you. So, communicating with them while they're here and they're here in the physical. Now, how does it transfer and how does it change for you? Do you connecting to them? Because being a medium, understanding these energetic connections, what are the similarities or differences from connecting to them here in the physical to connecting to them once they pass on into spirit?
I feel like it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Like I can feel them either way. I mean, if I had to really break it down, like, it would just be a very subtle, like, increase in frequency, so it would just be like a little bit higher on that radio dial of frequency, like a little bit more. I mean, it's hard to say, and this is one of the reasons why I don't work with lost animals, is because it's really hard to tell, like, if they're passed or not, because it's that same, animals can get right up into your heart, and you can just feel almost elated when you're talking to them, and it can be difficult to really decipher, like, are they in spirit or are they just really happy here, or it's like, so to me it's pretty much the same. It's no different. Like, I like to have a picture of an animal or just see the animal, and then that's my connection to them, whether they're here or past.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, it's funny because when Mary Amy and I were speaking about this prior to the radio show going live, and that's what I said to her. I'm like, she's most likely going to want a picture because I can't give her a collar or a charm or a jacket of the animals, but usually that picture, you can connect to that energy, and it's the same with humans too. And it's the same thing. You get that energetic connection, and then it kind of takes off from there. So I'm curious. Do you want to get into your reading of Molly or Mary?
Sure, if you'd like.
Else you want to kind of go over before we do that, or?
Well, I just would like to say I'm grateful hearing all of this, because my puppy dog Elsa, I did have a dream about her 2015, and she spoke to me when she was telling me what was something that was bothering her, and I heard her voice, which was not the voice that I expected to hear come out of her. And I know, and I do feel as though we are telepathically communicating, because now, more so recently, and a lot of my abilities are even getting more, I guess, activated, because, like, for example, yesterday, she's never done anything like this. She was never an animal that chewed up clothes or anything like that. But last night I came home or after work, and she had dragged a clean sundress through my home to the front door. Like, she was, I said, what's going on, Elsa? And she just looked at me like, I don't know. So we took her out on a walk last night for an hour, and she was so happy, but she was definitely trying to give me a message, and it was strange. It wasn't like she just dragged my clothes through the. I mean, that's the message.
Were you wearing that dress on the walk? Did you change?
No, I threw it in the wash. I said, thanks so much. And today I got her a new bed, and I washed her.
Oh, cute.
It's funny,
maybe
right?
She was saying she liked that pattern, like the pattern of the dress, and wants some clothes.
Yeah, right.
A little matching outfit.
No, she doesn't like wearing any clothes. She doesn't like wearing any. We know that. Like, there's things about her. But, like little Elsa, she did death 3 times. And she's a tough little Havanese puppy dog. I mean,
she's a Havanese, cute.
Yeah, she's got amazing.
Oh my God, that's like a sundress. Is not big for a little Havanese.
I know. She wasn't
you're
wearing
tiny, but still.
Yeah, she's from a family of show dogs, and she's not a show dog, but she likes to get groomed and all of that. So anyway, okay, let's move on. That's all I have to say regarding it.
I just want to
say what the reading's going to be.
Yeah, so Before we get into Molly's reading, actually,
Yeah.
Laura, one other question, and then for those that are interested in the mediumship, the psychic development, those type of things. Now, I know with my own experience, I've had some of my own animals pass on in the spirit, and they've connected in such a way that they help guide me in certain areas, and they act as a guide. Do you find that same thing? Like, what's your connection with the animals that have passed on, or do they still connect and help you guide? Do they help you kind of navigate with other animals? Can they help facilitate that, or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like 100% they can.
How cool is that?
And they can reincarnate back, and like I've seen people who I thought would, like honestly, like I thought, oh, when their animal goes, like I'm kind of worried, like they're gonna like take their life or something, they're so connected to their pet. And I've seen their animal connect with their people, and those people completely shift their life around by connecting with their animal and spirit. Like they've just, like manifest new jobs and new homes and new significant others. And like, it's amazing what they can do. I had this giant Flemish that passed away a couple of years ago. He was such an amazing little bunny. And I had an artist like paint my animals. She makes like these cute little like just portraits of them, And I had her do the bunny, and she said that that Clyde came to her in a dream and told her not to worry, that she was gonna have a baby, because she was like, her and her husband were trying really hard to have kids, and they weren't being successful. And then he came and he told her not to worry, she was gonna have a baby, and she did. And she said that it made her feel so much better that he came and told her that. So it's like she connected in with him while she was painting him, right? And she had this like connection with him because they were sharing their energies back and forth through the painting, and he came and helped her. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I think that's one important thing for any of our listeners out there. I think it's so important for everyone to understand. Physical death is not the end. Even with our animals, even with our pets, they all carry on. They're with us in spirit. They want to reconnect to us as much as we want to reconnect to them.
Yeah.
And thankfully for those of you listening, people like Laura can give you that opportunity and show you that, that validation behind that, and then help us, help us embrace that connection. So you're doing a fantastic thing. And I think, the more we tune into that and the more people open to this, the more they'll see that, the grief, we're going to grieve that physical loss, but they're still here. They're still connected.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in such amazing ways. They're here all the time.
Absolutely.
They're here just all the time. Yeah, when people, like, reach for their animal, let's say, like, the animals are always telling me when they're on the other side, those, like, common things that they say, they always say, like, I can feel them petting me. And it's because people are, like, reaching. So the animal comes around them, whether on the couch or on the bed or in the car, and people reach for that space where that animal is, and they grab, like, a blanket or a pillow, and then they pull it close to them, and they're thinking of their animal. What's actually happening is that the reason why they've reached for those things is because their animal spirit is there, and then they're using that pillow or that blanket as a conduit to them. And so the animal is actually feeling that love and feeling that hugging. And so a lot of people are in that kind of despair. They're below their heart, and they're in that despair of missing their animals. And if they just sort of breathe into their heart and raise their consciousness up a little bit, they would then actually feel more their animal there and the bliss of them being truly present with them. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing, and you explain that fantastically. So what do you want? Now, as far as getting into Molly's energy, reading her energy, communicating with her, what's the process?
So I have a picture of her, and I'm just like looking at her picture. And so I heard you say something that she's having like medical issues?
Yes.
She looks young. How old is she?
She is. Yeah, she's just a little over 2. What is she, 2.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's dealing with some medical issues. And I mean, do you want me to kind of give you a little bit of the background?
Yeah, why don't you tell me?
history?
Yeah, like so Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so during the pandemic. So prior to the pandemic, I had I had a Bernese Mountain Dog, and well, I had at one point 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs and 2 Bulldogs. I
Oh,
had a whole
cute.
pack. Our 2 original Bernese Mountain Dogs had passed away, and while that was going on, my wife was grieving, the loss of the Bernese Mountain Dogs, really, really heavy, and she found Mr. Finn. He was a European Bernese Mountain Dog. He was, what is he, from the Netherlands, or yeah, I believe he's from the Netherlands. And he the Flying Dutchman. So he came over, and he was the newbie for my 2 Bulldogs, and we lost my 1 Bulldog. She had passed away. And the beautiful thing, though, connected to her very heavily for a long period of time. I still connect, to all my animals, but actually a guide, and she helped me connect to other people's animals, which was beautiful. But then,
nice.
so Finn, that Bernese Mountain Dog, and my other Bulldog at the time, Little was very sick, and and she was a trooper, and she really persevered, and she was a big girl. But in that process, we didn't know how Finn was going to react. We weren't sure if, being the only dog, he was losing. We knew Little was going to pass. So my wife decided to go to upstate New York and rescue a Bernese Mountain Dog off a farm. She lived the first year of her life on the porch of a house. She was around animals. We don't even know all the background and all the history. So the first year of her life, she literally, lived on a porch. She would come in at night for a couple hours, back on the porch all day. My wife went up, rescued her, 8 hours up, 8 hours back down to the Jersey Shore. She came in, and my dogs were, they really didn't like her that much. And I thought, oh, wow. But she settled in, and then, harmoniously, the 3 of them got along while, in the end of life with Little, as, she lived a great life. And I think the 2 other dogs kind of helped her transition. We all helped her transition. And the thing is, so now it's just so now I have the 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs. I have Finley, which is my male, and Molly, my female. Now, Molly, we've had some urinary tract issues with her, several months in from getting her. And, there was some different issues with her where we had to have her spayed, and they found a small mass, which they removed in the spaying process, and clean bill of health. It seemed really good for a while. And just recently, over the past, several weeks, a dog that never had an accident in the house started having accidents in the house. And we're like, what's going on? And being pet people and knowing, the ins and outs of, vet care and all these other things. My wife's, very proficient in animal care. We have the dipstick. So we started, checking her urine, and her urine was all out of whack. We're like, okay, something's going on.
Oh, wow.
Bring her to the vet. She has a really bad kidney infection that's affecting her, and it seems like it's resistant to all the different antibiotics so far they've treated her with. So she's been on Beatrill. She's on another antibiotic compound now, and it's not clearing up. So we don't know what's going on with her, and it's just, we're concerned that what could this be? Could it be something else? What's going on? But we know it's, definitely dealing with her kidneys, and she has some kind of resistant bacteria going on, and we're just trying to navigate that now.
Wow. Yeah, you can kind of see it in her eyes here. So,
yeah, that's from today. The pictures you have, I don't know if Mary sent you both of them or just one, but that's actually from today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the one where you can see her whole body, and her eyes look a little sorrowful, like she's, oh, poor little thing. What are you feeding her? Do you mind me asking? Like, what's her diet?
Yeah, so she initially, she came to us on a really, I don't want to talk names, and she came to us on a really bad commercial food. We got her off that. She was actually on a raw diet for a long period of time.
Oh.
Then she started refusing that a little bit, not liking it as much, and we started changing. So she was eating, I don't know if you're familiar with the Honest Kitchen. It's a dehydrated food, and you mix your protein source.
Are you still feeding her that now?
So we were, and then we switched it up, and now we're actually cooking for her. So she's eating turkey.
How long
has
she been off the Honest Kitchen?
Well, I think we're periodically mixing it in here and there. But the last probably 2-3 weeks, we've been cooking turkey and rice and mixing some vegetables in it.
Here's something for you. And, I mean, I love the Honest Kitchen. It's an awesome, awesome food. But I see UTIs with them a lot. And
Do you?
It's and it's when people don't add enough water and they don't let it sit for long enough.
Yeah, I know. We're doing water. We're doing purified water with her, and we're mixing it in well. So I don't know, but
I would just look at the box and see if you are doing exactly the right, and maybe she needs more. But I have seen a lot of UTIs from the Honest Kitchen, and usually what it is that there's not enough water and it's not sitting for as long as they say it should sit. I mean, maybe that's not what's going on with her. Yeah. But it would be kind of cool if it was, because it's an easy fix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But let's get her and kind of see, you want to see how she's feeling and if she knows what's going on, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's connect to the
energy.
And
if she feels any better, right? If she feels any better, then...
Yeah, has there been any improvement with the change? Because she just recently changed the antibiotics she was on, so we have her on she's now on this new second round of antibiotics. She's a week, I believe she's, a week, 10 days into it. And, so it's a little bit of a mystery right now.
Yeah, okay, let's get her. So what I'm going to do is get a hold of her and tell her that I'm a human who's on the phone with you guys and that I can hear her. And, well, that's neat because I can ask her questions for you. So just give me 1 second while I get her. What, honey? That's been hurting you. Yeah, it's not. Is it... That hurts you too? She's saying that under her right armpit, I almost wonder if it's like a lymph node or something. She says that's been bothering her too.
Under the right armpit.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm gonna take some notes while you're doing this.
And she says the other thing that she doesn't like is that she has a headache. Well, honey, sometimes when you have an infection, you get a headache. Do you feel any better? She says she gets really bad cramps. Do you get the cramps, in where you go pee-pee or, up by your hips? Because you have a kidney infection, honey, where, that would hurt, up by your hips. Is that what's hurting you? She says the cramp is all in my groin. And does it come and go, honey, or do you have it all the time? She says she has it all the time, and when she tries to go pee, it's harder. Do you feel any better, honey, in the last couple of weeks? No, because now my armpit hurts. It sounds like her lymph nodes. Wait, what else? Sometimes, she says sometimes she needs mom and dad cuddles. Yeah, they feel better when you get your cuddles, huh? Oh. She says sometimes she needs a kiss on her neck and on her ears. She says sometimes when she gets a kiss on her muzzle, she pretends she doesn't like it, but she does. What, honey? Why haven't they healings helping me? She says, why aren't the healings helping me? What do you... I feel the healings. She says she feels the healings, but then they don't fix me. That's interesting. Is someone doing healing on her?
Yeah, I've been doing healing on her.
Oh, so she's feeling it, but she's not. Oh, how cute is that? That's scary. So, honey, let me tell you this, okay? Because I know a lot of animals and a lot of people, and when Daddy's doing your healings on you, this is something that you can really think about, okay? So what you want to do is you want to breathe into your heart and you want to think about all the things you love. Your mommy and your daddy and your brother, and then like nature. If you love like the wind in the trees or the smell of grass, and you think about all the things that you love, and you think about all that love going into your body and just synchronizing your body with that feeling of love. All right? And that's what Daddy's helping you do when he's doing his healings on you. So what happens is if Daddy's doing those healings and then you get like a little cramp and then you're like, ow, my cramp, then you're going to be back down in that pain body. All right? But if you can kind of surrender into Daddy's healings and see if you can stop yourself from going into the pain and instead surrender into Daddy's healings, that might help heal you faster. Think you can do that? Yeah, because I like rolling around, but it's been hard. She says she likes rolling on the ground, but it's been hard on her. Like doing like a flip over because her hips are sore. And her groin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she does like kind of rolling over and doing a little shimmy thing, so that definitely could be it.
She says she wants to tell you something. What do you want to tell Daddy? She wants to ask you a question. What is all the math about? What do you mean, honey? There's all this math going on. Do you know what that is?
Math?
Math. Are you like
a mass, like a growth, mass growth?
No, I thought it was math, like MATH, like numbers. Maybe you're budgeting or something, you know?
Like math? All the math going on?
Yeah, what's the math, she said.
Math going on.
Which I think maybe it's like, are you adding up expenses? Like, what else would be math?
Oh, so I check this out. Okay, so this is pretty cool. So my wife just opened my office door, and she's like, she has actually been calculating dosages and doing all kinds of crazy math around the dog, trying to figure out different holistic, homeopathic healing modalities.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
So how crazy is that? That's crazy you picked up on that because I didn't even know that. So my wife has been calculating all kinds of numbers and mathematics in regard to dosages and what the process is going to be, because we're incorporating some holistic modalities into her healing, so that's pretty wild. I didn't even know that.
So that's Mommy trying to figure out what remedy to give you.
Yeah.
Because Mommy's healing you too, so she's figuring out what remedy to give you.
Yeah.
She says my mom sometimes has a soft voice for me. Yeah, she loves you. Sometimes she runs her fingers through my fur and it feels good. Aw, she's like a little girl. She's so cute.
She is. She really is. That's her personality for sure.
She's so cute. What else should we ask her? Pretty little girl.
I want to ask, can you ask her about Michael's music? Does she ever hear you sing, Michael?
She hears me writing music. Yeah, for sure. She definitely hears. It's blasting out of my studio when I'm composing. For sure.
Oh, wow. So what do you think about Daddy's music? Do you have anything to say about that? That's something that could help heal you too. It does. She says what she loves about your music is it has a lot of dreamy rhythm to it.
It does.
It makes you feel like you're a butterfly. You can. She said sometimes she can feel you thinking about her when you're playing.
Okay.
What kind of music is it? Is it dreamy? What is it?
It is, yeah. I just finished. She was along with me when I was composing all my meditation music. So.
Oh,
yeah.
it's like a butterfly, like the transformation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, it's definitely
Cute.
airy and meditative, and there's some cool hemi-sync going on. So Laura, can you key in on anything that could bring her healing? Is there something we should change up? Something maybe we could add in, or what could possibly, propel, compound, push her healing forward?
Yeah, I mean, I would just keep doing what you're doing, keep visualizing her healthy. I was trying to think when you said that, I was trying to think of something like to ask her that might help your wife find the right remedy for her too. I
don't know, maybe if the pain in the kidneys, I don't know if she'll understand where the kidneys are, in her side. Is that getting less? Or?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that she's getting, one of the things I kind of was like a little bit concerned about is the cramping, because that almost sounds hormonal, like the cramping in the groin. I guess so she could have that with a UTI, but
mm-hmm.
And then I was hoping that when she said about the armpit, that's not like a mammary thing,
Mm-hmm.
Honey, what else do you think can help with your healing? That can help mommy and daddy figure out exactly what do you feel like you need? I need that green water. That green water? What is that green water? It's like a green water you drink. It's a green water you drink. Do you know what that is?
I'm not sure the green water, but we had talked about incorporating a lemon, doing fresh lemon squeezed water and see if she would drink it. So I don't know if my wife put it down yet, because that has a lot of beneficial properties to healing.
Yeah.
So I don't.
You know what's so interesting about that? I totally forgot about that until she said it. Oh, how funny. I don't know if that's it unless your lemons are kind of green, right? Because
so check this out though. But when we make her Honest Kitchen, it looks like green water. I mean, it does. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is the Honest Kitchen looks like green soupy water.
Interesting. Huh. Also, parsley tea will bring animals out of kidney failure, and that can be green. You just chop up. You just chop up organic parsley. But kidney disease and infection in the kidneys are different. So I don't know if that would take care of an infection.
Okay. Are you picking up anything around kidney disease or problematic kidneys?
Well, you said that she had a kidney infection. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, but I mean, so we think it's an infection, but do you think there could be something more to it, or is she connecting to you? Is there any way to see if there could be
I'm a little bit worried there's something hormonal going on. But I'm I know a lot of animals with the Honest Kitchen that got UTIs. So, and I used to feed it, and I still think it's a great food. So a part of me is I hope that's just it. I don't know. Okay. I mean, it could be. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, but I mean, overall, you think she seems stable, but in discomfort? Is what the overall consensus on her overall well-being? Even though we know she's dealing with some type of kidney problem, kidney infection. But what do you think of her overall?
Overall, I'm concerned.
Okay.
Because so she's 2 years old, right?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, so typically, if they're not in that much pain, they don't really talk about it. Her first thing was oh, my armpit, in there, that's bothering me. They're more talking about silly things. you know?
Okay.
And they're not talking about like how they're like, you know how she was talking about how you can comfort her. And like it comforts her like to have a snuggler, right? She'd be more talking about like what going for a walk or what toy she wants, or you know, like it so I'm concerned that she was really getting involved in the body.
Okay.
And she says, and also I don't feel good. She says my head is killing me. She has a headache.
Okay.
But that's typical with any type of like, you know, infection. But how you can tell a headache typically is they'll get like the scrunches over the eyes. And like sometimes they'll push their head into your hand and you think like, and kind of turn it over to the side and you can think like, oh, they're being so sweet. They're like pushing their head into my hand. But really they have a headache and they're like pushing it. Or sometimes they will hide their head under things, like they'll put it under a pillow or put it under the couch.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because she's done that.
She says, I do love my family, and I do love my life. She likes it when you get on the floor with her and play, like and do like a play bow.
Yeah.
She says she likes bones, like chewy bones. I think that might be like a Bowie stick or something.
Yeah, no, she would actually get raw bones. Given them to her in a while. It's been a period of time, but she actually did get raw organic bones from the butcher shop.
Hey, you know, maybe that marrow would be good for her now. Or bone broth. Bone broth would be good for her too.
Bone broth. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: intuitively, to you, connecting to her energy, is there anything you think bone broth? Is there anything else? Any type of supplements or dietary change? I know, the Honest Kitchen concerns you. Anything else intuitively coming to you around her, or anything that maybe I should try or change up?
So one of the things that I do whenever my animals have an issue is I get them adjusted by a chiropractor. Because if they're out of alignment, it's really hard for the body to heal. So that's something you could look into.
Then we do have a pet chiropractor. Haven't used him in quite some time, but we do have one.
And then cold laser is also amazing. Like if you could find a cold laser somewhere. Your chiropractor might have one. And like cold laser her hips and cold laser her bladder and like all her neck.
Okay.
But I mean, pretty much you're doing it like the fresh food diet, of course, that's great, and the homeopathy, that's beautiful. Yeah,
now we're incorporating that in now, and I think we're still waiting for a few things to come in. They're ordered, they're in the mail, so hopefully they'll be arriving over the next couple days, and we'll be able to incorporate, and take that homeopathic approach a step further.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. I'm a big believer in that. And then like the healing, and then just keep reminding her, like, you can heal yourself. Like you can like connect in, like teach her what your healing modality, like how you do it.
Now, is there... Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's that?
I was just going to say, like, you and your wife don't seem like you get, like, really kind of, like, stressed. But, like,
I don't. I try to stay balanced, but my wife is out of her mind right now.
Yeah, well, because it's scary. But, like, I get it. It's scary. But if you do that, if you kind of hold that, like, oh, my gosh, then it's harder for them to heal. Like, and, you guys are so, you're also spiritual. Like, what you could do is just be like, Spirit, I'm at a loss. Like, I need help. Like, you need to guide me. Like, I need you to guide me. Like, I need you. And I've done that for animals, and I've dreamt of things. I've dreamt of ways to help them. I've got something going on with my horse right now too, so it's like I pick my own advice there with my horse. But
no, it's great advice.
Yeah.
Now,
but that letting go and having trust too, that like you will be able to find it. You will be able to find what's going on.
Yeah, and actually manifest that cure. Now, question, and I might be pushing a little bit on this one, but is there any way to see if like she contracted it in a certain way, or could there be something contagious, something that's a little more than a urinary tract infection? It's kind of weird germ, because that's what I said. We think the germ may be a little resistant to the antibiotics. Do you anything around the germ, around the infection, the contamination in her system?
That's not really my field, so it's not my specialty. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like what I'm like that Honest Kitchen thing, like it could just be something in there for her. Like, and then if you give it to her again, then she's got it again. Or it could be like the box. And I'm not just saying like the Honest Kitchen. It could be any food. You know what I mean? Like,
and
like
there has been pet recalls. Yeah, there has been pet food recalls and different things.
The Honest Kitchen is like one of the ones that rarely gets recalled. But
exactly. Yeah.
It's
very good.
Still, like you never know, right? Or like a box to sit on a truck somewhere in the sun too much, or it could be in the pet store in the sun, and I mean, just who knows, right?
Yeah, you never know. All right. Well, I mean, that's any final words from Molly or anything to kind of close out your reading of her?
Molly, honey, did you hear? You like the fall? Well, we're nowhere near the fall right now. You've still got all summer. I like the fall too. Why are you thinking about the fall? Don't you like summer? You like it when the leaves fall? I know that's pretty. What are you thinking about? Like the things that are pretty in nature? Is that what you're thinking about? Yeah, I love the fall too. But what about like the crickets now? Don't the crickets sound really neat? And the way the wind blows through the trees? And you're kind of near the water, I hear. So can you smell the water? You like that too? Good. You like flowers? Good.
She likes trying to eat flowers.
Yeah. Oh, she said she likes to see flowers. Oh, now, nice.
Before you close out your connection with her, can you imprint on her to not try to eat things off the ground?
So what is she? She's eating a lot of stuff off the ground?
Yeah, well, she'll try to grab a leaf, or she'll try to, I mean, sometimes she wants to grab the other dog's poop or different things.
Does?
Every once in a while, yeah. So she's bad with that stuff, and we've tried to prevent that. And I don't know if that could contribute or that has contributed.
Maybe that poop eating and like eating a lot of different things could be a B complex deficiency.
Okay.
You could try a B supplement.
All right, good to know.
Did you hear that, though? It's really gross to eat other doggies' poop, honey, because that's their waste. And then if you eat it, you're putting that into your body. It's not healthy for you. It'll make you sick. Okay? It's really important you only eat the food that mommy and daddy give you. You like the chicken breast? Yeah, it's like a breast. You know what that is? Like chicken or turkey or something?
Yeah, it's the turkey. She likes the turkey.
Oh, it's the turkey.
Yeah, she had an allergic reaction to chicken, but turkey she does really, really well on.
Yeah, I get them confused sometimes because they look so much alike. What else, honey? You love a back massage?
She does.
She says, I need it. I need it. She likes to be touched.
Yeah, she is. She's a very needy dog. She's definitely a snuggler. Yep, absolutely.
So cute. You're not scared anymore? That's good. if you get scared, does it make it worse? It can make it worse, honey, but it's normal. It's normal to be scared when you don't feel well, but you don't want to stay in that fear. All right? You don't want to stay there. You want to then, like, feel it. Okay, I'm scared, and then imagine yourself really healthy. And running. Yeah, you can imagine yourself healthy and running. That's a good thought. She says in the back of the car she gets dizzy.
Yeah, she was really bad in the back of the car going to the vet the other day. It definitely bothered her. Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
That's hard, honey. She's so cute. She's so cute. You loved being loved. I know. You're a precious little girl.
No, yeah. Thank you so much for reading her energy. Yeah, that was really good. I mean, you hit on a lot of stuff about her. That was very, very good. A lot of key points, a lot of good insight. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. She's so adorable. You guys scored on that one, huh?
All the way from upstate New York, off the farm.
So cute. Do you take her to the beach?
She has not gone to the beach yet. It's not yet, but hopefully at some point when the weather cools down. The Bernie's Mountain Dogs, like she's saying, she likes the fall, and that is so true. She likes the fall. I don't know if she's really crazy about the winter, but the fall, you hit that nail right on that. You hit that right on the head because she loves the fall. She loves the cooler weather, but not freezing temperatures. And she hasn't been to the beach yet, but hopefully when the weather cools down, maybe in the fall, I'll definitely bring her there.
Laura, before you go, I wanted to just ask, are you still there? Oh, she's gone.
Is Laura gone?
Yeah, she said 8:30, so it hit 8:30.
Okay. So first off, we want to thank Laura. So Laura, that was a fantastic reading, keying into my dog Molly's energy. So that was Laura Stinchfield, and she is a animal communicator, and she's kind of keyed in on my dog Molly's energy field. Was reading and talking to Molly about what was going on in her life, and she hit on a lot of key points, a lot of really, really cool stuff. So, Mary Amy, would you like to just share all of Laura Stinchfield's information? And if anyone wants to reach out to her, now we know she was on a very tight schedule. We're so glad.
It's Laura Stinchfield. Yes.
Yes.
She's back. She's back.
She's back. Okay.
Somehow got dropped. Laura, are you there? Hello?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute there. Sorry about that.
Okay. We knew you were on a strict schedule, so we didn't know if you had
that was not it. The call just dropped. I wouldn't do that to you.
Weird stuff like that happens on Two Psychic. You have been initiated into the Two Psychic phenomena.
Exactly. Before you go, Laura, I just wanted to ask you before you go, because that was fascinating. Okay, when you receive the information, so you're channeling to the animal, is it coming? It was like lightning speed. So you're literally speaking. There's not even a space in between what you're asking and then what they're responding.
I'm glad you see it like that. I'm glad you see it like that, because I try really hard because it's on radio. So I say, like, hurry up. Like, when I first got her picture, I said to her, you got to talk to me really fast.
Well,
so I don't know if it's always like that, but I'm glad you felt it like that. So that's good. But it
Absolutely.
is like us talking to each other. And like once you get that connection and the animal feels comfortable with you and you feel okay in that space, it can be that fast for sure. So,
I have to tell you what put fear in my mind hearing this. Was that, so I'm an intuitive and I connect and I can hear and I'm empathic, like as well as you are. it's the fear of I just believe that there's so many animals that are not properly taken care of. Is it distressing to you? Do you hear it from them, or is it not connecting to you?
Well, I mean, it's been a long journey of being okay with it in a way. Like, yes, like when you're open and you're intuitive, as you know, you have to open up your heart. And so you're more sensitive than most, right? Because you're opening up. And yes, there's so much suffering in the world, not just with the animals, but with people too. There's just suffering everywhere. But what I've learned over time is that if I stay in that suffering, if I allow myself, so I kind of think of that the same as like that frequency, if you're thinking of that radio dial as being hot, like feeling joy and feeling good and strong is high on that radio dial, and feeling suffering is low on the radio dial, and feeling good and joy is at the heart, and feeling suffering is down sort of in the gut. And I make a very conscious effort every day to raise my vibration up to my heart so that I don't stay in that suffering, because staying in that suffering, it's no help to anyone, right? So like I can't help the animals if I feel sorry for them. So I mean, I can feel bad for them, but then I've got to kind of help their people realize what they can do to help them, and help the animal to realize that they can help themselves. So
it's interesting, because listening to this, I took it almost like they're children, and it's not the same as when I work with someone. So I understand how we have this, I guess, this containment or this boundary, so it's not affecting us. Because when I work with a client, I don't as well. It's exactly what you just said. But when I'm taking it from, like, here's my little puppy dog, it's almost like a child who can't is vulnerable and can't speak for themselves. I'm so grateful that you are out there doing this kind of work with pets and being their voice. I think it's exceptional, and it takes a lot of dedication and
that's great.
Really, no, it's true, because you're very good at this.
Now, Laura, we know you're on a tight schedule.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
But is there one or two things you could recommend to our audience to help them connect and open to their animal's energy?
Well, the one thing I kind of wanted to say to Mary Amy is, like you can talk to her, right? Because if you're already talking to spirit, you already know how to tune in to whatever station that is, right? You're picturing that radio dial again. You already know. So the only thing that's stopping you from talking to Elsie is your own belief system. So, like, if you told yourself, I can talk to Elsie, you would be hearing her way stronger, more. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, I agree with you, because I believe that that's where it's almost going in the last few weeks. It felt that, like there was things coming through to me, but I just didn't. I kind of disregard it because it's not a common place with her. But now I realize she is. I am seeing something different. Like, she knows something's different between us. So I'm going to do exactly what you're saying. I'm going to speak to her.
It's kind of interesting, like what you said. Okay, here. So a couple of things. Like, when you were talking before and you said that you, like, dreamt of her talking to you. Well, I tell the animals all the time, like, if you need to tell your person something, tell them in the middle of the night while they're sleeping, and just tell them over and over and over and over and over again, and eventually their consciousness will hear it. So that's what she was doing to you. She was trying to get through to you, so she was talking to you in the middle of the night where she could kind of, like, slip in. And then there's something that you said, and now I do this too with my own animals, like we all do it, is you were like, I'm getting it, and then I disregarded it. right? Like there were things and I disregarded them because we get busy and then we see something or we hear something and we're like, oh, okay. But you don't really stop to be like, wait, did you just say this? Like, did you say that? Or it's almost like I'll get back to it. And I've done that myself with my own animals where like something's happened and I'll be like, I kick myself later because I was like, I just didn't take the time to stop and pay attention. But you already know that feeling of she's trying to get a hold of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's trying to say something. And then what that can also be is like when you're learning a new language and you're not like 100% confident in it, there's like right before, I kind of think of it as like surfing or like riding a wave. It's like right when you're at the crest of it, right? Like if you're a surfer, right when you're at the crest is also right before you get the messages from Elsie or your listeners who are talking to their own animals or people who want to hear from their spirits. And right when you're up there and you're about to kind of drop into a wave, there's almost like a little bit of an anxiousness feeling because there's this powerful, like new way of communicating. And there's also a little bit of a fear to it. And at that top of the wave, people can do one of two things. You can either surrender to it and drop in and feel that little before you catch the wave and hear everybody, or you can bail out and go check Instagram or do your laundry or like do whatever you need to do. So that spot is what we have to learn to kind of ride and be, okay, like I need to just feel okay being uncomfortable for a minute and just push it a little bit longer and see what happens.
I'm going to do just that. And now it's going to be very fascinating to see what she has to say. I'm so curious now.
She's going to tell you she wants that doggy outfit that matches your sundress.
No, she won't wear any clothes. She gives you stink eye if you put anything on her.
She's going to say thank you for her new bed.
Yeah, maybe she's in the new bed. She is looking at me because we've moved furniture around, so I do have to have a discussion now. Now it's all out in the open.
And you know, she's trying to get a hold of you, like by the way, like the taking of the sundress. And so I would think about like, what's the meaning of that sundress? Are you like relaxed when you wear the sundress? Like, do you feel good in it? She's saying like, let's go be relaxed and feel good, you know, like.
Definitely. It was definitely a huge, it was bizarre, actually. It was very strange. It wasn't like, I don't even know what to say. So I know that it was an intentional. She dragged it out of my closet by the front door. So and then I took her out on a walk and she just ran on the walk because it's hard. It's hard to get them, you know, out there. I'm very specific because I want her to be okay. I make sure I take walks. But last night we took her on a long walk. So anyway, all right. Well, enough about me. Before you go, can you share your information, how people can reach you and about your sessions?
Yeah. So the best way to get a hold of me is through my website, and that is thepetpsychic.com. And on there you can read all about my work and my sessions. All my sessions are on the phone or Zoom. I don't do any video, but and yeah, I would love to connect everybody with their animal. And also you can get my books, and they're a great way to learn how to talk to the animals as well. And you can get them, you can order them from anywhere books are sold. And Amazon's a great place.
Excellent. So those titles of your books real quick, Will.
Yeah, so one is Stormy's Words of Wisdom, and that's like little quotes you can read every day, and that's from my late dog, Stormy. I used to have a Blog Talk radio show, and he had like a segment at the end where he would say his words of wisdom, so it's a compilation of those. And the other one is called Voices of the Animals, and it's stories of my life as a pet psychic and my clients' animals. And I talk a lot about how to talk to the animals and how to trust your intuition in that book.
Very cool. Very cool.
We love having you as a guest.
Yeah.
We
Stormy's
love
Words of Wisdom, Voices of the Animals.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and I also have a meditation CD that I put together for connecting in with your animal after they pass away. and it helps you to kind of go through the process, that grieving process, and also release any guilt that you're having or anything that's holding you back from connecting in with them in spirit.
Yeah, thank you so much, Laura. This has been a very insightful and beautiful session. I really appreciate you connecting to Molly's energy.
You're welcome.
Hopefully I can kind of step it up on my end and bring that healing to her in some way, shape, or form. But I really appreciate you connecting. Really appreciate you being on the show. And what do you say, Mary Amy?
Oh, well, I'm going to say that I'm going to meet you in person. I know that already.
Fun. Yeah, we're close.
We'll figure it out.
Close. Okay, great.
I'm fascinated by you.
Thank you both for having me on the show. I just love your show. It's so beautiful and wonderful what you guys are doing.
So much. Thank you.
All right, and we really appreciate what you're doing too.
Yeah.
Yes,
thank you.
You're amazing, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Breath of fresh air. You're breath of fresh air.
Thanks. You too.
And I'm sorry.
Thank you so much, Laura.
All right, you guys. Be well. Bye, everyone.
All right.
All right, you too. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
All right, everyone out there with two psychics. So that was Laura Stinchfield, animal communicator.
She was
her books, Stormy's Words of
level.
Wisdom, Voices of the Animals. So if you're into animals as much as we are into animals, then check out her stuff. She's got her books, and then she has her meditation CD in regard, or the meditation you can purchase in connecting to your animals' energy. And Mary Amy, that's a big thing. That is being a medium and seeing how people process and deal with grief. I can tell you some of the heaviest grief I see, and some of the heavy grief I've even personally experienced, has been over the loss of an animal. That could be really devastating. And I'll tell you the interesting thing, I can't tell you how many people in a session have to say, I'm grieving more over the loss of my pet than I am over, a family member that passed away or a close friend. And, they really are like our children. And it's a different day and age now. And people treat their pets so much differently than they ever did. I mean, look I'm at, well, not me, but my wife is actually cooking for our dog. And lots of people do that type of thing. I think we want the best for our animals. So if you really want the best for your animal, take it that next step and learn how to communicate with them. Learn the techniques, learn the processes, learn the procedures, and to give you, a boost in that right direction. Again, check out Laura Stinchfield's books, Stormy's Words of Wisdom, Voices of the Animals, and check her out, thepetpsychic.com. She's doing amazing work, and I really appreciate that.
And she's very patient with the whole process. I found that to be amazing. She's channeling your animal, your puppy dog, and giving words of wisdom.
Yeah, and what was really cool is she was definitely picking up on the personality of my Molly and different nuances in our life and things that have gone on, and so that was really, really cool to see it kind of unfolding right before our eyes, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think everyone out there should understand that the passing of the physical body, whether it be a person, whether it be a pet, regardless, they still want to connect to us as much as we want to connect to them. And it's just a matter of tuning in and learning the processes and procedures. It's like anything else, learning how to ride a bike, learning how to paint, learning how to play a musical instrument. It's a process, and it's a skill that we can develop. And that really is I think an important one. Like Laura said, people deal with this grief and this grieving process, and sometimes it could be so heavy, but when we understand, we can still connect with them. Or, did I do right by my pet? Did I do all the right things? And I know that end-of-life decision, wow, I mean, that could be some of the hardest thing. And one of the hard things about that is a lot of times we're looking at it from our own perspective and how we're feeling, and we have to shift that. And we have to look at how is the animal feeling? And we have to make those hard decisions. We don't want to see pain. We don't want to see suffering in our animals' lives. And that end-of-life decision can sometimes be the hardest thing, but honestly, it can be the most beautiful, blessed thing when you do it the proper way, and when you can understand that, that closure is coming, and you can try to do everything in your power to give your pet the best possible life it can have and that best possible ending it can have. You know, and that really, like one thing that really that heals me and healed me from the grieving process of losing my own animals was knowing I did everything I could and gave them the best possible closure I possibly could. And, you know, and we learn from that and we grow from that. And there's so much when we lift ourselves through that pain and we don't get consumed by it, our own personal growth can happen in miraculous ways. And that's through understanding that unconditional love that we get from our pets.
Yes. And I am so enlightened tonight after listening to Laura. Okay, so we have callers waiting, and I'm planning on doing a visualization. How about we take a caller, and then I'll do a visualization, and then if we have time, we do have another caller. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who do I grab? Because they've all been waiting a very long time.
Don't hang up on them.
Oh my gosh, you're funny. Okay, so let me just grab. I think this individual has been waiting a very long time. So let's see who this is. Hi, this is Mary and Michael. Who's this?
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Debbie.
Hi,
Debbie.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
yes,
Debbie,
we're calling
hear you?
Psychics with Mary and Michael. What's up?
Where are you calling from, Debbie?
I am calling from Louisiana.
Louisiana. All right.
Love it.
What's the big thing down in Louisiana? Was it crawfish? Is crawfish the big thing?
Crawfish, gators, and heat.
Woo! Crawfish and gators. What a combo that is, man.
So hot.
So I have. So I have to ask: is like gator like a delicate? Because they're all over the place, right? They're like an invasive species down there, or what's the deal with gators?
Yeah,
like
people eat them, but I don't. I mean, I don't eat them. I'm originally from California.
What do they say? It tastes like chicken.
I wouldn't know.
That's gotta be kind of crazy. So I just have to ask you: have you ever had an encounter like with a gator? Like, have you had any close calls?
They had one pretty close by, and nobody would come get it. You know, they were calling the authorities, and they were just leaving it there. And I'm not sure actually what happened to it. It was pretty big.
That's just another
we have
gator.
Canals.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just another gator. We get to it.
Yeah, they said, not my jurisdiction, not my jurisdiction.
See,
so
here in Jersey, we have squirrels. I don't have to worry about a squirrel coming to eat me. Maybe he'll get into my bird feeder, but man, that's got to be a real crazy environment when you have to worry about walking, going on your nature hike or trying to do a Zen meditation in nature, and a gator comes up on you. But Debbie, what's the question you have for us?
Well, you're gonna laugh. I was calling, I didn't know she wasn't gonna be on the whole show, Laura. I love Laura. But you're just gonna laugh, and I'm gonna tell you, I have a pet squirrel. Can you picture squirrels? I have a pet one.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, but I realize why most people don't like him. But when I found him, he was a pinky, which means he had no head. He was like a few days old.
Yeah.
And they were renovating the apartment, and him and his brother fell out of the eaves. So he's very friendly to me. Only to me, though.
Only to you? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Not my boyfriend, who he loves them, but he's almost like, I think the squirrel thinks he's my boyfriend.
Okay. So the squirrel's possessive. So is your question around the squirrel? 'Cause, I mean, we can tap into your energy, and we'll see what comes through, and I think we have a lot of good guidance from Laura that maybe we can kind of steer you in the right direction.
Okay.
So what is the question?
Well, I was going to ask if really you would, I don't mind if his name is Irving pops in. He's alive and everything. But I have a cat named Rudy that is so sweet. And I know he doesn't feel good, and he's a senior guy. If there's anything that you pick up that I can do additionally for him. He's an orange cat.
All right, so Debbie, what we're going to do is we're going to connect to your energy field. I don't know exactly what's going to come through, but what we're going to do is we're going to connect to your collective, your guides, your angelic presence, your loved ones, and we'll see what information they can give us. So if you can just slowly, say your name slowly to us, and we'll kind of open up and connect to your energy field.
Deborah, Debbie.
Okay.
Say both.
Okay, so Debbie, initially, so there's a couple of things coming through to me initially. So, all right, so wow, there's actually a lot of information coming through. So I'm just going to bring some different information through. If you can take that information, just let me know, and we'll key in a little bit more. But I have significance to the S. I feel like there's someone around. There's some significance to the S initial, and I feel like I'm feeling this around female energy. This could be on mom's side. So there's definitely an S, and it may not be completely someone in spirit. This could be a significant initial to someone around you, first or last name in S. Can you take that?
Yes. Yes.
Now the S is in spirit on your mom's side?
Oh, on my mom's side.
It's in your collective, but I'm reading it more. There's a connection on your mom's side that's bringing this information through. So, and this is now mom is still here, but grandma's not, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So this is grandma bringing it through. That's what she said. This is grandma, but I feel like there was some connection to grandma. Now, I don't know if grandma knew the S name or the S is around you now, and she's just trying to give me a little guidance, but what's the significance to the S initial?
Well, my best friend has both those initials, from high school, and she's still in California, but I do get like little messages for her occasionally, but I haven't gotten one in a while.
Okay, and now she's still here in the physical, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Her mom isn't.
Oh, her mom isn't. Okay, so let me just pull now. When I connect and I'm focusing on that S initial, I'm also, so I literally heard the word Dallas. So I don't know if there's a connection to Dallas or there's something with her or there's a trip or transition or grandma is connected to Dallas in Texas in some way or Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't know what this is. What is there a Dallas connection that you can take, a Texas or Dallas, Texas connection?
Let me see. I had I had freelance, but I had a freelance boss. Her last name is with an S. I haven't heard from her in like a year or close, but like all of my bosses are kind of, the people that, go through payroll. They're Dallas. They are. Okay, so there is Dallas connection around you. Okay, so there is some significance to Dallas, and I feel like something in your energy field is pulling you to Dallas. So it could be the work connection, and that's what I could be reading. Now, the funny thing is I want to talk about grandma a little bit, and I want to talk – now, when I connect to grandma's energy, I'm seeing like a lace bonnet and like some weird like patterned – I don't know if there's like an animal pattern baby outfit, and I almost feel like she like did she wear like weird hats or a bonnet, or did you – she showed me a picture of you as a child with a bonnet? Because I'm seeing like she would wear a hat, but she looked more like Queen Elizabeth. Like she had like more
Lacey.
pillbox hats.
Okay. So Lacey. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing. So let me see. Let me try to. Okay. Now she's speaking about. I feel like she's saying the name George. Is there a significance to a George? Unless she's talking about Georgia, but is there George? Is there a G? The significance of a G around you?
I have to think about that. I do have a friend in Georgia, though.
Okay. Because
he's going through quite a bit.
Thing is, so she could be pointing me. So this could be a double-edged message here. And sometimes they'll try to link through because she knows it's quick and she knows, I'm literally opening up. I literally jam my dial knob up real quick trying to pull them through. So grandma, she's – now is there a brother also? Is there a brother connected to you that's still here?
No, brother-in-law, but no.
Okay, because she's talking about the brother. She's talking about, like, grandma is actually mentioned, and I heard her talk brother. So I don't know if this is someone's brother is having a problem. There's an issue you're navigating, someone that you would be able to identify. I'm not sure what that is, and I'm not going to put too much time into it, but she's –
okay.
I thought I saw her. She's talking about brother. Interesting. Not sure what that, and there's not like a sibling that you didn't know about or something.
No, but my dad's brother is very ill.
That's what it is then. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly.
He's RR though. His initials are RR.
No, the issue. No, the S was something else. We're on a different energy connection, but she had to mention the brother. So that's absolutely what it is. So I appreciate that. Appreciate that confirmation. She is referring to him. I think she just wants to acknowledge and give, because she knows we're going quick with this. I think she just wants to bring in pieces of information to validate that she's around you. And I do believe she's guiding you. Now, she's also June. So now we're in the month of June. She's also giving me June. She's giving, and I'm literally not hearing. Sometimes I'll see it as a 6, or I'll get the numbers. But what's the significance? Is there a birthday anniversary? I feel like she's talking about the significance of this month and a significant date. So the anniversary, I don't know if she passed it in June.
I think her birthday's in June because she was a Gemini.
Yeah, okay. So she's confirming that. So she's just bringing through pieces of information, assuring you that, she's with us. She's connecting and she's here. Yeah. So she's bringing through little pieces. So I appreciate that confirmation of June. So she's just acknowledging her birthday. She is acknowledging the brother. So this is your father, your father's brother?
My father's brother, yeah.
Okay, so your uncle. Okay. Now, is it uncle? Now, is there a Jim? Is there a J around him? The J?
No, it's an R. He's very ill.
So let me ask you this. She's giving me a J when I connect, when she's talking about the brother. Sometimes
that's his brother's name. That's my cat's name.
Well, there you go.
And he's passed as well. He passed. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's his brother's name, Jake.
Yeah, so there you go. So Jim, she's mentioning Jim. So Jim, and you said Jim is passed, so Jim is with her.
No, Jake.
Jake. She's giving me the Jake. Okay, so it's Jake. All right, so I'm hearing it wrong. I'm hearing it a little off. But because she's mentioning
that's his brother.
That Jay, so how cool is that? I think it's just I think she just wants to pop in real quick and assure you that she's okay. But let's see. So let me give a little information. Okay, so when we're talking about the brother,
she wants to tell me something. I know she's been wanting to tell me something.
Well, let's see. We're going to see if we can bring that information through right now. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
I think that's why you got picked. So she is talking about moving the brother. So I don't know if they were talking about bringing him. I don't know if he's in the hospital or hospice, and they're talking about bringing him home or bringing some kind of or a new environment. But she's talking about a change. I don't know if this is a new medical facility or shifting where he is, but she's talking about changing his location. And this isn't about like him moving on into spirit. This is in regard to him either healing or trying to help ease his suffering or the pain or put him in a better mental space. So there's something about changing location. And what comes to me, so now I try to bring the information through basically as pure as it is. I don't interpret it, but now that I brought the information through of changing the location, I do feel like there's either something being overlooked or medical treatment. Now, is there something going on with his blood and cardiovascular system, heart and lungs?
It's his heart. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what she's showing me. She's showing me the cardiovascular system, the heart, the lungs. There's I don't know if there's like medical, like insurance block in regard to him, a specialist, or transitioning him into another location or a care facility. But there's something there that's overlooked, or like she's talking about the change of location. So I have to mention that. So I think you should talk to, whoever's around him, whoever his caretakers are, whatever's going on. Maybe double check, like either misfiled paperwork or something that wasn't properly submitted in regard to getting him some kind of specialized testing or medication. There's some kind of specialized thing that's either being overlooked or sidestepped because of insurance, but there's like a new path that can unfold, and in that new path, there's definitely benefit to his healing. So there's more healing available to him, but right now it's not accessible. So that's what I'm getting around that. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, now Now she's showing me, I don't know what is there a H-A around you? Harold, Harry, Harold? She's talking, now this could also be in regard to the medical treatment. Sometimes they'll give me names, information. If you can't take that as someone either here in the physical or around that she's talking about, this could be the H-A. It could even be if there's a facility that's Harry named after Harry or a Harold, a medical facility or a doctor. I feel like she's giving me the H-A, those initials, in regard to some kind of...
It's a city in Mississippi.
There you go. And is that where he's getting medical treatment?
I think so, but that's where my father was getting it, too. I almost feel like, even though you're talking about him, that there's his wife, my dad's wife, shut down, and we haven't communicated with her. And I never heard anything. So when you're talking about these insurance papers, I don't think they're for my uncle. I think it's something to do with me.
Well, if you could take this, and a lot of times, look, I'm bringing through the information really quick. So if you can take that personally, then yeah, she's absolutely talking about that and talking about you. So I don't know anything what you're going through. She's just throwing this information at me, and I'm just trying to bring it through really, really quick. So, okay. So now what can you personally take about what I just said?
That she's trying to tell me to dig deeper into some insurance papers.
Yes. That's what she's saying. Okay, and you can
she's
take
just bringing through the brother because it's my dad's brother, and he's ill. But he's kind of hard-headed. And he's not going to listen to me tell him anything about his health. Okay. But that's why I'm saying, like, he would never let me tell him anything about insurance. But my dad's wife, my dad passed like a year and a half ago, 2 years, and she has shut down.
Yeah, your dad's the J, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it has something to do with his wife hiding something from me, but I can't prove it.
Okay, so I mean that's why I'm bringing the information through, and that's why I bring it through unedited, undeciphered. I
appreciate that.
Yeah, so that way you can take it, and if it's that integral and important, that's why as a medium, it's so important. And anyone out there listening, that other mediums, other psychics, other readers, we have to bring through the pure information for an instance like this, you can get the proper information you need to hear. Now, if I had interpreted that and I made it all about, your uncle, you wouldn't have been able to take any of that information. So now you're able to take almost all this information, and that's the way it works. That's the way it works. And as you're saying this and as you're speaking about this, the funny thing is, it's weird. I can sense her energy acknowledging that. And I can definitely, and she's talking about that. Now, she's also talking. Now, I want to give Mary Amy a second to jump in on this. So what I'm going to do is I want to, absolutely, if you can take that information in regard to, there's definitely something in regard to paperwork, information not coming forward or not being shown or being corrected, and it's definitely around influence. So if you can take that, absolutely. I appreciate your validation and your confirmation in that. And so, Mary Amy, what are you getting around this?
Hi, Debbie from Louisiana. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so this is what I received. There are messages in your dream state. Listening more to your heart, you left behind an old situation that bothered you. I see a bathroom making changes in your home. Ready for change, and can you find a way into my heart? Not my heart, but that's what I heard. It's a message to you. Blessings to you. For some reason, I saw a blue train, a cereal box, and then I heard analyzing your feelings, imagination, deep emotions to your soul. Achieving inner peace, need to wait for what you want and have more patience. And I heard the word science, and it's related to your memories. I don't know. That's what I got.
You might have to put this show on rewind a couple times and listen to it a few times, because there's a lot of good information in here. And I'm telling you, it'll definitely unfold. Now, yeah, really cool information. I just have to add one little thing. So, and it's funny, and this is coming from Grandma, and Grandma's still connected. I have a very strong link with her. And she's now. When you initially called, you were talking about squirrel and the dog. Is that correct? There was some kind of
squirrel and the cat.
The squirrel and the cat. Okay, the squirrel and the cat. So she's talking about like an envy or a jealous. Now the cat was there first, correct?
Yes.
So I think the cat. So now I'm getting this information from Grandma. I'm not connecting directly with your cat, and I don't have a picture or the squirrel like Laura would, but I'm connecting to Grandma, and Grandma's telling me you're showing too much attention to the squirrel, or you've taken too much. I think what has basically happened is the cat feels a little slighted because the squirrel's getting more of your attention and more of your love and focus. Not that you don't love the cat as much as you did, but I feel like the cat feels a little slighted, and the cat. So the funny thing is,
okay.
Were you thinking about getting the cat a new toy? Like I'm seeing like this weird feather toy. It almost looks like a fishing reel, like a fishing line. And you're playing with this toy. Do you have that toy? Is there like a?
I have it. Yeah.
Ah, that's funny. She's showing me that. Now, have you not used that with your cat in a while? And you did?
No, it's been a while. Yeah, it's definitely.
So that
he's
exact
elderly.
toy. That exact toy that Grandma's describing that I don't know anything of, but I know you have it because she just showed me. And she's showing me the cat's pissed because you're not playing that specific game. So I guess you would do a certain game, or you would do something with the cat, and then you would either reward the cat or make the cat try to find it and catch it, or avoid running into things when it was chasing it. There's some little like trick gimmick thing you were doing with that particular fishing rod toy that you need to start doing again. It doesn't have to be like every single day, but definitely do it, and I think you'll see some kind of change in your cat's demeanor. You know, so Mary Amy, do you have anything around that?
So what I'm really sensing about you, Debbie, is that you're going into a new chapter of your life right now, and I'm sensing that you were not as tuned in as you are now to everything, your environment, your life. You have been activated and you have awakened. And you're going through some positive, and you sense them to be negative because you can't really quite understand what's happening. I do sense that the people that you have around you are a little puzzled by you, but your interior crowd, like whoever is your immediate love interest, understands.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just
because I'm not doing anything, and he's the only one that's like helping me because he knows that I need this time.
Yeah, you take as much time. Like I heard patience for you. So basically, I got a lot of. It was very not a streamline of information, but to me, it was more or less validation for you that you need to consider yourself more. And at this time, in this juncture in your life, is to set up stronger boundaries so that you can get through this and get more, and then become more balanced again, because you're intaking a lot of emotional and spiritual knowledge and information about yourself and the rest of the world. So just take this time and allow it to happen.
Okay. That's interesting you say that, because when he brought up my uncle, which is my dad's brother, the last, I don't know if you want to call it a dark night of the soul, but we just had like a lot of heavy energy hit. And a memory came up with him I was really mad and didn't realize that I was still mad about something he did like 20 years ago to me, you know, but it really affected me to the point that I had to forgive him. Because I think he listened to other people rather than listening to himself, and might have been a little bit jealous of me and my sister. So it was really dark, because you don't realize that you can hang on to something like that, and it stays in your cells. And it took me like a couple of days of processing it and releasing it. And I think I did release it because, you know, he's in really, really bad health. And yeah, that's the one. What he was talking about, my uncle with the heart issues. so, I mean, I don't want him to leave the planet and have this, hatred of him.
Well, and I think
that's pretty strong.
that's the thing, Debbie, too, is the circumstances. You're able to take a step back and see things, aside. You're basically able to pull yourself out of that emotional state and see it for what it is. And that's a really, really powerful thing. And I think you're being given the opportunity for, healing and closure. But the interesting thing, what I heard when Mary Amy was speaking to you, is renewal and growth. So you definitely are going into a cycle of renewal and growth, and you're definitely you're definitely being given some type of opportunity for healing and closure around the family, the family energy cycle. So that's going to be a really powerful thing for you. I mean, what I would definitely suggest for you, because I know we were throwing a lot of information at you in a really short period of time, and unfortunately, because it's, there's such short readings, and we spent quite a good amount of time with you, but I know we're throwing a lot of information out at you. Rewind the show and listen to it a couple times, because I think you listen to this 2 or 3 times, you're going to be able to pull a lot of information and guidance that was coming through. And grandmother your grandmother wants to help. She wants you to know she's around you, and I think you're connecting to her. I think you're very intuitive, and you just need to do what you did around letting go of that energetic cycle that you were in, where you had to find healing. Well, in that same process, you can expand your connection. So that's going to be this is going to be a very powerful cycle for you. And again, renewal and growth are the words that came to me. So Debbie, really appreciate you calling into us.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you giving us that, the validation and that information to kind of confirm what we were saying. But definitely go back and listen to this reading, 2 or 3 times, and I would literally, take notes and sit with that. And your collective, and that's what I'm going to say, your collective that was coming through wants to help guide you and wants the highest and best for you. So sit and connect to them too. If just sit in that loving energy and ask that question. And whether it happens in a dream initially, or you just start getting some kind of thoughts coming in that aren't your own, don't discredit them. Definitely sit with that and definitely note to what's happening. But Debbie, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it.
I want to say one quick thing, Debbie. Silence. I heard spend time in silence and maybe get some kind of pad of paper and just journal stream of consciousness, because everything, you're really on the edge of figuring everything out. And a lot is going to come forward, and all of a sudden you're going to be shifted in 1 second flat to another perspective that's going to take you on the rest of your journey. And I sense that it's related to something new that you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing something new. Yes, something new, and it's going to be exciting. I really see this. I sense this. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, have a great night.
Have a great night, Debbie. Thanks again for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye. Amazing. I felt like I knew her. It was really very cool.
Yeah, she's very intuitive, and if she taps into that. So now I know you wanted to do a visualization. Do we still have time for you to do your visualization, and we kind of close people out with that, or where do you want to go?
Yeah, I think we can do that, and then everyone can call again next week. Next week we do not have a guest. It's going to be purely readings, and
so
we'll
we can
have
take a few callers,
obviously. Or callers, readings and callers.
So if you would like a reading, like Debbie just got, call in next week. We'll be able to get a few people on the air.
Yeah, we will. I mean, today was special, and I think it was really, we're all becoming more aware of the connection that we all have with each other, which is every living thing. Okay, so let's do this visualization. All right, everybody, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get into a comfortable position, sit or lay down. You can close your eyes or keep them open. It's entirely up to you. Let's let out a breath, and we're going to relax our body. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to focus all your weight on your bottom, the base of your spine, because we are going to ground ourselves. And how do we ground ourselves? Well, we have gratitude for this moment. We release any tension that we have. And we are going to imagine a cord inside of ourselves, our center, and it's going down deeply into the Earth's surface. And you can choose the color that the cord is, and you can take that cord out and replace it with another. So it's a cord going down, and you can choose maybe rose-colored or lavender, whatever resonates with you, green or blue or white, whatever that cord is, and that will ground you. So you're imagining this cord's going deeply down into the earth. And also you can imagine your feet firmly planted in the earth's surface, and you're wiggling your toes. Remind yourself to look around. You're in this moment. That's where all the energy is, not before this moment or past this moment. It's right now. So we're going to let out a breath. We're going to scan our body for tension. We're going to let all the tension go in our arms, coming out our fingertips, our legs, our torso, our shoulders. Move your head around. And so let's do some inhales and exhales together. We're going to do 3 inhales and exhales, and we're going to do them on a 5 count. So you're inhaling for 5, you're holding it for 5, and you're releasing it for 5. So let's do that together right now. Another breath. And the last one. So hopefully you're a little bit less tense. You let go of any tension in your muscles. And so you're feeling the quiet. You're hearing the peace. You're breathing out old energy. And so right now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to see around your physical body a bright whitish yellow light. And it's filling all the space in the room, even beyond the walls. As far as you can imagine is this whitish yellow light. It's very tranquil. It's very peaceful. And the light is serene. It's still. And it begins to cover you, this whitish yellow light. First, the tip of your toes. It's moving upward through your body. You sense the light in every pore of your body. Your cells, your organs, your flesh, your bones. It's covering your entire body. This very peaceful, bright, whitish yellow light. You sense that your inner spirit is calm, and you smile broadly. All of your pain is gone. You sense no trace of it. All of your suffering has disappeared. And you search for it. You can't find it. All is left is the beautiful divine light that has taken over your being. And one thought is evident. How? How has this happened? Well, you've realized and recognized it's your choice to be sad, angry, or even happy and content or peaceful. You can have a positive intention or thought. The soothing light stays inside your physical, emotional, spiritual aspects of your body. And as the divine light has traveled through your knees, your feet, your legs, your thighs, your waist, your stomach, your ears, your face, your mouth, your left eye, your right eye, your forehead, every strand, suddenly your mind feels complete relief. You've embraced the light. You've accepted this new emotion. Joy falls on you. And you're going to ask the light for a wish because it's filled your entire body and your auric field. So I'm going to give you a moment, and you're going to say your wish or think of your wish. All of what it is, the details, Anything specific that you know about this wish? Okay, you're going to remind yourself before you go to sleep of your wish, and when you wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to count backwards to 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, for allowing me, listeners, to do a visualization. And how are you feeling, Michael?
Good. I'm a little more centered, a little more grounded. I feel good.
And you made a wish, didn't you?
I did.
Good. Wishes are good. That's how we manifest.
Absolutely.
Okay, so before we go this evening, I want to remind everyone, tonight was episode 20. We had animal communication. We had guest pet psychic Laura Stinchfield. And we have coming up June 27th, we have Jilly Clark, Angelic Channeler. And we have July 11th, Rick Reyes, a Bigfoot expeditioner. And he's going to tell us all of his experiences about Bigfoot. And Michael, can you share any upcoming events that you have before we go?
Yes. If anyone wants to come down to the Jersey Shore, if you're in the area or you want to travel, at the Garden State Distillery, June 26th. Still some tickets available for the psychic event. Great night. I'll be there doing readings. You get a Reiki session. You get a little taste of, the energy healing and what mediumship is. So it's a really cool thing. So Garden State Distillery on June 26th. If you go to my Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley on Facebook, I have all these events, pinned to the top. So that's one, June 26th. And then if, that one doesn't work for you, then we have, the Captain's Inn on July 24th, Psychic Night. Captain's Inn, July 24th. Go to my Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley. That'll be posted there. And then I have a mediumship gallery coming up a little bit after that. But anything that's going on, any events, any workshops, any classes, they're all going to be on my Eye of the Spirits with Michael Edley on Facebook. You can find me Eye of the Spirits with Mike Edley on Meetup, or you can go to michaeledley.com. You can message me for a reading, a gallery, or whatever I'm doing, or whatever you would like me to come to your place and do. Anybody out there that has a facility, I'd love to come and do an event there. So reach out. What about you, Mary Amy? What's going on?
Well, I'm doing my intuitive work. I am doing hosting on Rumble. Yesterday I had a topic and I spoke for, I guess my videos are an hour long, and I usually have one topic, and I spoke about anti-gravity and electromagnetic waves.
Nice. And now
tell me.
I was going to say, I know we spoke about Laura's book or her books. What about yours?
I have a dream journal you can find on Amazon. My personal diary of dreams, messages, and symbols to guide me. And I also have The White Light Prophecies by Blue Butterfly. And I have a children's book, Earthly and the Gemstones. You can find me on my website, Mary Amy Official, and all the information I just shared with you. And you can find Michael on michaeledley.com. We have a Facebook page. We hope you follow us. We hope you follow us here on Blog Talk Radio. And we'll be back again next Thursday at 7:30. And we'll have a great topic, and we'll take some call-ins, and I'll do a visualization, and we'll talk about what's going on the East Coast.
Absolutely. And what's funny is you mentioned the Blue Butterfly, and I had a post this morning, and it said a great thing. It was, you don't just wake up and become a butterfly. Growth is a journey, and that's for everyone out there to remember. This is a process. It's a journey. We are on a journey, a lifelong journey, and we have to allow that divine presence to transcend through us and help us navigate this journey. It's blessings that we can bring into our life through that path, and through that path, our growth can happen in many, many mysterious and unexpected ways. But I am looking forward to episode 21, and I thank everyone so much for joining us. And thank you, my fabulous co-host, Mary Amy. It's been a pleasure. Episode
Thank
20
you
in the
so
book.
much, Michael. Yes, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Be well. And we're sending you love, light, and hope. Bye-bye.
Care. Have a good one.